I'm Eddie Garcia, co-host of the Puck Podcast with your Puck Podcast Hockey Minute, a recap of the night of the NHL and a preview of tonight's action. 13 games on the New Year's Eve schedule, highlighted by the annual Winter Classic. For the second time, it was held at Wrigley Field in Chicago, and for the fifth time, it involved the Chicago Blackhawks, who lost to the St. Louis Blues 6-2. Defenseman Cam Fowler had a pair of goals for St. Louis. Jordan Kyrou added his 16th, and Dylan Holloway his 14th in the win. The Blackhawks are now 0-5 all-time in the Winter Classic. The Avalanche knocked off the team with the most wins and the most points in the NHL, the Jets, 5-2. Game was tied 2-2 going into the third when Colorado scored 3 unanswered goals to get the win. Casey Middleset snapped a 19-game goalless skid with the go-ahead goal, and Mikko Rantanen helped seal it with his 21st of the season. The NHL's top goalie, Winnipeg's Connor Hellebuck, did not start in net in this one for the Jets. Canadiens scored the upset of the night with a 3-2 win over the Pacific Division leading Golden Knights in Las Vegas. Down 2-0 after the first period, Montreal scored 3 unanswered goals, including Cole Caulfield's 19th of the year. Kirby Dach gets the game winner. The Ducks scored a pretty decent upset of their own with a 3-2 win over the Devils. Anaheim jumped out to a 2-0 lead, then allowed the next 2 goals before Ryan Strome scored the game winner late in the third period for Anaheim. The Blue Jackets edged the Hurricanes 4-3 in a shootout. Kirill Marchenko had a pair of goals in regulation, numbers 15 and 16, while Kent Johnson and Adam Fantilli scored in the shootout for Columbus. Capitals beat the Bruins 3-1. No goal this time from Alexander Ovechkin, but Alexei Protas had a pair of goals, numbers 15 and 16, and Jacob Chikrin scored his 11th of the season, tied for most among defensemen in the NHL. Logan Thompson had 26 saves in net in the win. He's now 15-2-2 on the season. The Wild, still without injured star Kirill Kaprizov, down the Predators 5-3 behind Marco Rossi's 2 goals, numbers 13 and 14 for him. But in the win, Minnesota lost captain Jared Spurgeon with what is believed to be a serious injury. He was slew-footed by Nashville's Zachary Leroux. Leroux is going to have a hearing with the Department of Player Safety over the incident. Nashville is now 3-13-4 on the road this season. Maple Leafs down the Islanders 3-1 to move into a tie with Idle Florida atop the Atlantic Division. Toronto goalie Joseph Woll had 30 saves in net, while John Tavares added his 19th of the season. Red Wings beat the Penguins 4-2. JT Compher's power play goal in the third period was the game winner. Dylan Larkin added his 15th of the season for Detroit. Flyers shut off the Sharks 4-0 behind a combined shutout from goalies Samuel Ersson and Alexei Kolosov, who was injured and had to leave after the second period. Travis Konechny added his 17th of the year for Philadelphia. And in a battle of 2 of the top rookies in the NHL, Matvei Michkov of the Flyers and Macklin Celebrini of the Sharks each did not have a point. Oilers snap a mini 2-game skid with a 4-1 win over the Utah Hockey Club. Tied 1-1, Edmonton closed it out with 3 unanswered goals, capped by Leon Draisaitl's NHL-leading 27th of the season. Stuart Skinner had 26 saves in net for Edmonton. Stars down the Sabres 4-2. Wyatt Johnston's third period goal was the difference. Rope Hentz added his 16th of the year for Dallas. Flames beat the Canucks 3-1. Nazem Kadri's 14th was the game winner. Jonathan Huberdeau's 16th sealed the victory for Calgary, and rookie goalie Dustin Wolf made 32 saves in net in the win. And on New Year's Eve, we had the marquee game of the World Junior Championships with the USA handling Canada 4-1. Up next for the U.S. is a quarterfinal match with Switzerland. Canada will face Czechia. There is just one game on the New Year's Day schedule in Los Angeles. The Kings will host the New Jersey Devils at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm Eddie Garcia. If you like this, we have a recap and preview of the night in the NHL every weekday. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and help us reach 1,000 subscribers. And check out our podcast recapping the past week in the NHL every Monday morning, which you could find on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcast. Just search Puck Podcast.